Whenever you want to tell something to others, you speak complete sentences. Usually you start your sentence with the subject, but sometimes you give more stress on the verb instead of the subject. Of course, in some incidents you focus at the object. Therefore, we form the sentence according to its need. Sentences are written in a number of different ways to create language that ranges in style from informal to very formal. What you choose to do with the doers and receivers of the verb in your sentence can create different effects. ਬੱਚਿਓ, ਜਦੋਂ ਕਦੀ ਵੀ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਿਸੇ ਨੂੰ ਕੁਝ ਦੱਸਣਾ ਚਾਹੁੰਦੇ ਹੋ ਤਾਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਪੂਰਾ ਵਾਕ ਬੋਲਦੇ ਹੋ। ਆਮ ਤੌਰ ਤੇ ਅਫਰਮੇਟਿਵ ਸੈਂਟੈਂਸ ਜਾਂ ਸਟੇਟਮੈਂਟ ਸੈਂਟੈਂਸ ਸਬਜੈਕਟ ਭਾਵ ਕਰਤਾ ਨਾਲ ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਹੈ, ਪਰ ਕਈ ਵਾਰੀ ਸਬਜੈਕਟ ਭਾਵ ਕਰਤਾ ਨਾਲੋਂ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਵਰਬ ਤੇ ਜ਼ੋਰ ਦੇਣ ਦੀ ਲੋੜ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਹੈ ਅਤੇ ਇਸੇ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਕਦੀ-ਕਦੀ ਸਬਜੈਕਟ ਭਾਵ ਕਰਤਾ ਨਾਲੋਂ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਆਬਜੈਕਟ ਭਾਵ ਕਰਮ ਤੇ ਵੀ ਫੋਕਸ ਕਰਨ ਦੀ ਲੋੜ ਪੈਂਦੀ ਹੈ। ਇਸ ਲਈ ਅਸੀਂ ਲੋੜ ਅਨੁਸਾਰ ਵਾਕ ਨੂੰ ਕਰਤਾ ਮੁਖੀ ਜਾਂ ਕਰਮ ਮੁਖੀ ਬਣਾ ਲੈਂਦੇ ਹਾਂ। But before we proceed further, let's check out the definition of voice and understand its meaning. Voice is the form of the verb that shows its connection with the subject. Voice verb ਦੀ ਉਹ form ਹੈ ਜੋ subject ਨਾਲ ਆਪਣਾ ਸੰਬੰਧ ਦਰਸਾਉਂਦੀ ਹੈ। Now look at this sentence. Rama killed Ravana. What is the action performed in this sentence? The action performed in this sentence is killing. What is the subject of the verb killed? The subject is Rama. Who performs the action of killing? Rama performs the action of killing. ਇਸ ਵਾਕ ਵਿੱਚ ਐਕਸ਼ਨ ਹੈ killing. Verb killing ਦਾ subject ਰਾਮ ਹੈ ਜੋ ਕਿ killing ਦਾ ਐਕਸ਼ਨ ਕਰ ਰਿਹਾ ਹੈ। So, in this sentence, the subject of the verb performs the action. This sentence is thus said to be in the active voice. ਇਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਇਸ ਵਾਕ ਵਿੱਚ subject ਭਾਵ ਕਰਤਾ action ਭਾਵ ਕਿਰਿਆ ਕਰਦਾ ਹੈ। ਇਹ active voice ਹੈ। Now remember that the sentence in which the action is performed by the subject is said to be in the active voice. ਜਿਸ ਵਾਕ ਵਿੱਚ subject ਕਿਰਿਆ ਜਾਂ action ਕਰਦਾ ਹੈ ਉਹ active voice ਹੁੰਦੀ ਹੈ। Now look at the second sentence. Ravana was killed by Rama. What is the action done in this sentence? The action done in this sentence is killing. What is the subject of the verb? The subject of the verb is Ravana. Does the subject Ravana perform the action of killing? ਇਸ ਵਾਕ ਵਿੱਚ ਐਕਸ਼ਨ ਭਾਵ ਕਿਰਿਆ ਹੈ killing, verb ਭਾਵ ਕਿਰਿਆ ਦਾ subject ਹੈ। ਰਾਵਨਾ ਹੁਣ ਸੋਚੋ ਕਿ ਰਾਵਨਾ ਨੇ killing ਦਾ ਐਕਸ਼ਨ ਕੀਤਾ ਹੈ। No, the subject do not perform the action. On the contrary, the subject Ravana receives the action of killing. नहीं, subject Ravana ने कोई एक्शन नहीं कीता बल्कि उस उत्ते एक्शन होया है। We know that it is Rama, the object, who performs the action. Therefore, the sentence is said to be in the passive voice. ਇੱਥੇ object Rama द्वारा एक्शन ਕੀਤਾ ਗਿਆ ਹੈ ਨਾ ਕਿ subject द्वारा। ਇਸ ਲਈ ਇਹ passive voice है। When the subject of the verb receives the action named in the verb is said to be in the passive voice. ਜਦੋਂ क्रिया सब्जेक्ट द्वारा ना कीती गई होवे सगों सब्जेक्ट उत्ते क्रिया कीती जावे ਭਾਵ ਕਰਤਾ ਉੱਤੇ क्रिया ਦਾ ਪ੍ਰਭਾਵ ਪਵੇ ਤਾਂ ਉਸ ਵਾਕ ਨੂੰ ਪੈਸਿਵ ਵੌਇਸ ਵਿੱਚ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਹਨ।
Children, I hope you remember a verb is transitive when the action of the subject of a verb affects some other person or thing called the object of the verb. A transitive verb that has an object has two voices. A transitive verb has two voices, the active voice, the passive voice.
The active voice. When the verb shows that the action is done by the subject, the sentence is said to be in the form of active voice. Example, Sunny eats the apple. Here, the action of eating is done by Sunny, the subject of the verb. Therefore, the sentence is in the active voice. The passive voice. When the verb shows that the action is done to the subject, the sentence is said to be in the form of passive voice. Example, the apple was eaten by Sunny. Here, the action of eating is not done by the apple, but the apple is receiving the action. The action is done by Sunny, the object of the verb. Therefore, the sentence is in the passive voice.
Children, now you have understood both the voices. Let us now try to learn about their usage. When to use the active voice? When the subject is to be made prominent. Example, Rama killed Ravana. When to use the passive voice? When the object is to be made prominent. ਜਦੋਂ object ਨੂੰ ਮੁੱਖ ਬਣਾਉਣਾ ਹੋਵੇ. Example, my pen has been stolen by someone. Here, my pen that receives the action is more important than someone who has done the action. Therefore, instead of writing someone has stolen my pen, we write my pen has been stolen, since by someone is not that important. When the action is more important than the subject. ਜਦੋਂ action subject ਨਾਲੋਂ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ important ਹੋਵੇ. Example, English is spoken all over the world. Here, the action of speaking English is more important than the people. When the subject is unknown or insignificant. ਜਦੋਂ subject ਅਗਿਆਤ ਜਾਂ ਕੁਝ ਖਾਸ ਨਾ ਹੋਵੇ. Example, my pen has been stolen. Where the identity of the subject is not to be revealed. Look at these sentences. The boss dismissed him from his job. The management dismissed him from his job. Here, the subject, the boss or the management is not to be revealed. Therefore, instead of writing it in the active form, it is written in the passive form like this. He was dismissed from his job. While writing scientific procedures and reports. Example, 20 milliliters of sulfuric acid was taken in a test tube and was heated for 5 minutes. Children, we can change one form of the voice into another, but there are some rules to be followed while changing sentences from active to passive voice.
Rules to change voice. the subject and the object interchange their places. When the verb is changed from active to passive, the subject and object change their places with each other. Example: Rama killed Ravana. Active. Ravana was killed by Rama. Passive. Rules to change voice. The form of the verb also undergoes a change. Subject Rama, verb killed, object Ravana. Active. The subject takes the place of the object. Subject Ravana, helping verb was, verb killed, object by Rama. Passive. But children, we have to be careful about the use of personal pronouns. Personal pronoun. Example: I need help. Active. Subject, form of the pronoun I. Help is needed by me. Passive. Me is the object form of the pronoun I. Anu informed her. Active. Object, form of the pronoun she. She was informed by Anu. Passive. She is the subject form of the pronoun her. The object or the subject may be a long phrase instead of a single word. In this case, the whole phrase will change its position. ਜਦੋਂ subject ਇੱਕ ਸ਼ਬਦ ਹੋਣ ਦੀ ਬਜਾਏ ਇੱਕ ਵਾਕੰਸ਼ ਹੋਵੇ ਤਾਂ ਪੂਰੇ ਵਾਕੰਸ਼ ਦੀ ਜਗ੍ਹਾ ਬਦਲਦੀ ਹੈ. Example: The wind uprooted a large number of trees and electric poles. Active. A large number of trees and electric poles were uprooted by the wind. Passive. The parents of all the prize-winning students attended the function. Active. The function was attended by the parents of all the prize-winning students. Passive.
Children, you have seen that while changing from active voice to passive voice, the subject takes the place of object and vice versa. The form of the verb is also changed. Therefore, the rule for changing the form of the verb differs with the tense. Verb ਦੀ form ਵੀ ਬਦਲਦੀ ਹੈ. Verb ਦੀ form ਬਦਲਣ ਦੇ ਨਿਯਮ tense ਤੋਂ ਵੱਖ ਹੋ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਹਨ. If you want to be perfect in this topic, you will have to learn these rules. First of all, I will tell you about the present tense. Rules for present indefinite tense. Affirmative sentences. The basic structure of the affirmative sentence in active voice is subject plus first form of the verb plus object. In passive voice, object plus is or am or are plus third form of the verb plus by plus subject. For affirmative sentences, the first form of the verb is changed into the third form, and before the third form of the verb is or am or are is used, and before the subject by is added. Now, look at the following examples. Example: active voice. He writes a letter. Passive voice. A letter is written by him. Active voice. I write a letter. Passive voice. A letter is written by me. Active voice. They write letters. Passive voice. Letters are written by them. Active voice. I read a book. Passive voice. A book is read by me. Active voice. He loves me. Passive voice. I am loved by him. Active voice. We teach you. Passive voice. You are taught by us. Rules for present indefinite tense. Negative sentences. Active voice. The basic structure of the negative sentences in active voice is subject plus do not or does not plus first form of the verb plus object. In passive voice, object plus is not or am not or are not plus third form of the verb plus by plus subject. For negative sentences, the first form of the verb is changed into the third form, and before the third form of the verb, is not or am not or are not is used, and before the subject, by is added. Now, look at the following examples. Active voice. He does not write a letter. Passive voice. A letter is not written by him. Active voice. I do not write a letter. Passive voice. A letter is not written by me. Active voice. They do not write letters. Passive voice. Letters are not written by them. Active voice. I do not read a book. Passive voice. A book is not read by me. Active voice. He does not love me. Passive voice. I am not loved by him. Active voice. We do not teach you. Passive voice. You are not taught by us. Active voice. He does not fly a kite. Passive voice. A kite is not flown by him. For interrogative sentences, the basic structure of the sentence in active voice is active voice, do or does plus subject plus first form of the verb plus object. Passive voice. So, in the interrogative sentences, you have noticed that instead of do or does, is or am or are is used before the object in passive voice. Now, look at some more examples. Active voice. Does he not write a letter? Passive voice. Is a letter not written by him? Active voice. Do I not write a letter? Passive voice. Is a letter not written by me? Active voice. Do they not write letters? Passive voice. Are letters not written by them? Children, you know, while talking about interrogative sentences, we cannot skip WH questions. Now, take a look at the structure of these questions. WH questions. Active voice. Who plus first form of the verb plus object. What or where or when or why or how plus do or does plus subject plus first form of the verb plus object. Passive voice. By whom plus is or are plus object plus third form of the verb. When or where or why or what or how plus is or are plus object plus third form of the verb plus by plus subject. Now look at some examples. Active voice. What do you do? Passive voice. What is done by you? Active voice. Who helps you? Passive voice. By whom are you helped? Active voice. What do you write? Passive voice. What is written by you? Active voice. Who looks after these plants? Passive voice. By whom are these plants looked after? Active voice. How does she do all this? Passive voice. How is all this done by her? Active voice. What do you want? Passive voice. What is wanted by you? Active voice. Why do you beat her? Passive voice. Why is she beaten by you? Active voice. Where do you forget your umbrella? Passive voice. Where is your umbrella forgotten by you? Negative interrogative sentences. These are the sentences in which you will see the query in the negative form. Now, look at the sentence structure. Active voice. Do plus subject plus not plus first form of the verb plus object. Do I not read a book? Passive voice. Is or am or are plus object plus not plus third form of the verb plus by plus subject. Is a book not read by me? Here are some more examples. Active voice. Do you not eat bread? Passive voice. Is bread not eaten by you? Active voice. Do we not teach you? Passive voice. Are you not taught by us? Children, I hope now you have understood the change of voice for present indefinite tense. Here is an exercise for your practice. Change the voice of the given sentences. Active voice. Do you obey your parents? Passive voice. Are your parents obeyed by you? Active voice. How does she do all this? Passive voice. How is all this done by you? Active voice. We use this room on special occasions. Passive voice. This room is used by us on special occasions. Active voice. Who knocks at the door? Passive voice. By whom is the door knocked? Active voice. Why do the children make noise? Passive voice. Why is the noise made by the children? Children, let us learn about the change of voice for present continuous tense. Let us first recall the sentence structure of the present continuous tense.
Present continuous tense for affirmative sentences. Subject plus is or am or are plus first form of the verb plus ing plus object. Active voice. Example: the company is promoting a new product. Object plus is or am or are plus being plus third form of the verb plus by plus subject. Passive voice. Examples: a new product is being promoted by the company. To change from active to passive voice, first, replace the subject with the object. Second, add being after is or am or are. Third, use third form of the main verb. Fourth, use subjective pronoun for the objective pronoun and vice versa. ਇੱਕ ਵਾਰ ਫੇਰ ਸਮਝੋ। ਸਬਜੈਕਟ ਨੂੰ ਆਬਜੈਕਟ ਨਾਲ ਬਦਲੋ। is or am or are ਦੇ ਬਾਅਦ being ਦੀ ਵਰਤੋਂ ਕਰੋ। ਮੇਨ verb ਵਿੱਚ verb ਦੀ ਤੀਜੀ ਫਾਰਮ ਦੀ ਵਰਤੋਂ ਕਰੋ। Objective pronoun ਲਈ subjective pronoun ਅਤੇ subjective pronoun ਲਈ objective pronoun ਦੀ ਵਰਤੋਂ ਕਰੋ।
Let's take up examples of change of voice for present continuous tense. Examples: active voice, he is writing a letter. Passive voice, a letter is being written by him. Active voice, we are teaching you. Passive voice, you are being taught by us. Active voice, I am helping you. Passive voice, you are being helped by me. Negative sentences. Subject plus is or am or are plus not plus first form of the verb plus ing plus object. Active. Object plus is or am or are plus not plus being plus third form of the verb plus by plus subject. Passive. Active voice, he is not eating bread. Passive voice, bread is not being eaten by him. Active voice, he is not playing football. Passive voice, football is not being played by him. Active voice, my mother is not cooking food. Passive voice, food is not being cooked by my mother. Interrogative sentences. Active voice, am I reading a book? Passive voice, is a book being read by me? Active voice, are you helping him? Passive voice, is he being helped by you? Active voice, is she writing a letter? Passive voice, is a letter being written by her? Present perfect tense. Active. Subject plus have or has plus third form of the verb plus object. Passive. Object plus has or have been plus third form of the verb plus by plus subject. Affirmative sentences. Active voice, we have taught you. Passive voice, you have been taught by us. Active voice, he has taken tea. Passive voice, tea has been taken by him. Active voice, you have eaten bread. Passive voice, bread has been eaten by you. Negative sentences. Active voice, he has not played football. Passive voice, football has not been played by him. Active voice, we have not taught you. Passive voice, You have not been taught by us. Children, I hope you have understood about the active and passive voice and the change of voice for present tense. We will take up the rules for changing past tense and future tense in our next session. That is all for today. Have a nice time.